This is Paul Miller again here in our sanctuary at St. Andrew Lutheran in Canyon Lake. And I want to continue a series inviting you to reflect on the 7 times Jesus spoke from the cross. You put the 4 Gospels together and you find a total of 7 different things Jesus said from the cross. Already took a look at I thirst or I am thirsty from John 19. I want to look at a second one now from John 19 as well, where Jesus looks down from the cross, and at least a few of those close to him are actually present, at least within distance that he can speak to them. And he sees his mother there, and he sees another disciple who the Gospel of John just calls the disciple Jesus loved, or the beloved disciple. He sees them there. He says to his mother, "Look, here is your son." And to his friend, then, the beloved disciple, he says, "Here is your mother." And it says from that day on, that disciple took his mother, Mary, into that disciple's home. So just on a very basic level, here we see Jesus facing death, facing intense suffering, and yet still he's concerned for these people he loves. His friend, his mother, he cares about them. Even in the midst of his own suffering. And so we see certainly his example there of continuing to care for others. And on a very basic level, in these words from the cross, we see his concern and really ennobling, putting his blessing on our human relationships. Right? We find ourselves situated in life in a web of relationships. We are sons and daughters, mothers or fathers, friends to others. We have these unique relationships, and Jesus honors that. Can you do something for somebody on the other side of the globe? Probably something. Somebody across the country, something. Other neighbors, strangers you haven't met, yeah, there are ways you can play a role in their life, but there are certain people with whom you're just situated in a place where you can share God's love with them in powerful ways. Obviously, your parents, your siblings, your children, your cousins, your friends, your neighbors, those who are closest to you. And Jesus acknowledges that and honors that in this moment, I think. But the church has also seen something deeper going on in this always. Since the very beginning, we've seen this as a moment where a certain truth comes to the fore, and that is, in Christ's death, we are all made one. We are united in that he has died for us. In some sense, every other person for whom he died now is a sister, mother, father, or son to us. So we might even say in baptism, we are born anew into this growing family of God. And so as we look to people who aren't literally our mother, as Jesus' mother isn't to his friend, as we look to those who aren't literally family to us, because of Christ's death, might we see them in a new way? Might we see a certain sense of mutual responsibility in our relationship with them? I invite you to think about that as you think about these words. Here is your son, here is your mother. Think about those people where you're in a place where you can affect them in ways others can't, where you can help and show God's love to them. But then also, what does it mean? When do we need to think about how we are all related because Christ has died for us all? If you have thoughts on that, you can put those in the comments. I invite you to do that as we reflect on these words.